So I entered the education system only at the age of 10.
Would like to ask, even after all these years, what keeps that curiosity alive?
Students do not have a compatible textbook. Just one lecture isolated. How can the students learn from there? Physics is not confined into formula equations. The serious struggle came when I joined IIT Kanpur for masters. I attended all the classes. I never bunked any class at IIT Kanpur, whether I understand it or not.
Welcome to TEDxConversations Season 3, Episode 4. I'm your host, Aryan Lahoti. At TEDxIITGandhinagar, we believe big change often begins with small conversations, the kind that challenges us, inspires us, and stays with us long after. And if you have ever studied physics in high school, chances are you know who's today's guest. Many of us have spent late nights with a certain book, puzzling over pulleys, wrestling with rotational dynamics, and grappling with Gauss's law in electrostatics. Concepts of Physics was not just another textbook, it shaped how generations of students learned to think about science. Our guest today is none other than the man behind those pages, Professor H.C. Verma. He is a Padma Shri awardee, a legendary teacher, and someone who has transformed the way physics is taught and loved across India. But this conversation isn't just about books and formulas, it's about curiosity, education, and what it truly means to inspire a love for learning. Professor, welcome to TEDx Conversations. It's an absolute honor to have you with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, I would like to begin. Could you take us back to your early days? Like, how did you first get interested in science and physics? Were there any teachers, books, or experiences in your childhood that sparked your curiosity for physics?
Actually, it came just like that. There's no story behind, and there is no particular incidences or particular events or environment which led to this. In fact, I was admitted to school at the age of 10 years only, and there was no homeschooling or any kind of tutoring, absolutely nothing. So I entered the education system only at the age of 10. So by that time, I was playing with nature and looking at things, what is happening in my lane, in my shops, in my markets, and in my house, in my kitchen. So perhaps the interest in science started very early before I could have any book or any tutor or any school or any college. So basically, it started with the nature only, the events that were happening around, and things were. So I was just enjoying the nature and learning science from there.
Any particular instance you remember, like when you were playing around in nature or something like that?
Yeah, so the life was very, very simple and very, very enjoyable. All friends were there of the same age, and we used to wander here and there, and in the evening going into some kind of a park or
Yeah.
playing, running, chasing, all those kinds of activities which happen in general life. So that was going on. And when I was admitted in class 6 for the first time at the age of 10, because the admission procedure was the principal of the school will have an interview, a chat, and then judge from there in some 15 minutes or so which class the student is made for or is prepared for. So they declared that, okay, get him admitted in class 6. So I got direct entry. So it took me several years to adjust with this absolutely new kind of structured learning, because what I had learned from nature was totally unstructured. But here there were syllabus, there were examinations, and then there were timetables and all those things. So it just went like that. But that original spark, I would believe, that I learned from the nature, from my environment, from my whatever, my lane, my house, my playground, my market. So it's that place where I think I got this spark of science to learn all these things how they are happening, and that continued till today.
Okay. So, I mean, your childhood, it was very different. Like,
Right, right,
learn more from the surroundings rather than
right.
in school education.
And absolutely no stress. And that's what I always emphasize. The learning is very fast and very deep and very useful if you are enjoying, if you are not under any stress. So in my case, since I was till 10 years, I was just a free bird. So there was absolutely no stress. And even when I entered the school system, I did not do well because I was not tuned to this kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
timetabling and all examinations and evaluations and all those things. So I was doing very well, but I was not doing very well in the examinations, but I was learning. So even though my grade sheet will not reflect it, but yes, I was learning, and I was learning at a very nice pace, and that is why by the time I was at +2 level, which was say class 11, 12, so in a span of 5 years only, in a span of 5 to 6 years maximum, I was at par with anyone.
Wow.
The this examination of 12. There were some 2,500 students in my university. It was under university, and I was at position number 13.
Oh.
So the students who struggle from nursery KG to class 11, 17 years, 17 years, I just did it in 5 to 6 years.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, because the whole process of learning was so fast and so enjoyable, no stress, absolutely no stress. So that is how things go. So when I entered say class 9th, 10th level, by that time mathematics and physics and chemistry, science books, they they were making some impact on me because I was enjoying solving all those problems and relating what was written in the books to what is happening in my surrounding. So that is how the interest grew further and further. I ended up in choosing physics as the career.
So, when you wrote concepts of physics, did you ever imagine it would become such an integral part of how students learn physics across the country?
Absolutely.
What was your intention back then?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
Absolutely not.
not.
This is a big surprise to me even today. What was so special in concepts of physics that it has been taken up by the whole community so nicely. The intention was very simple. When I completed my master's from IIT Kanpur, 2 years masters, I did my BSc honors from Patna,
Okay.
in the college, Patna Science College. And then I went for 2 years of masters and 3 years of PhD. So I was there at IIT Kanpur for about 5 years. And then I joined the same college, the same Patna Science College, in which I did my own inter as well as my BSc, bachelor's. So I joined there as a lecturer. And since the college had this +2 also, they used to say it intermediate science, ISC. So I was given all those classes, so it's fine. So that time I was teaching my students in my sections, and they were something like 150 in the section. And Patna Science College, bachelor's first. Then even before my school and even before my non-school, so all those things, and then IIT Kanpur, it has given me a very different kind of vision of physics and nature, the connection between physics and nature. And I wanted to convey that to my students at Patna Science College when I joined as lecturer. And I did it well. Okay, I did it well. But the always I felt that if the students do not have a compatible textbook and they do not get the opportunity to reread after my class is over, right? Because it's not just one class, you have to revise it a whole year. Okay, read again and again and again. It's not only physics. The students are learning mathematics, they are learning chemistry, they are learning languages, so many things. So just one lecture isolated, how can the students learn from there? So that was the intention to write a textbook for those 150 students. Right. Actually, I'm really thrilled as well as I'm very grateful to our, and I have confidence and faith in our young students and young teachers who have shown that yes, they are not just rote learners. They enjoy learning the subject.
Yes. This next question is actually something that I've always wondered, and I'm getting this opportunity to ask you. So, many of us associate the book with creative, memorable problems, but one that practically stands out and is legendary among students is the two monkey problem, where Monkey Bee hangs from Monkey S tail. So, how did you come up with that, and was there some story or inspiration behind it?
Not much. In fact, it was within that same framework that I was thinking that the physics is not confined into formula equations. Formula equations are there to aid,
Yeah.
to facilitate, to facilitate. The real thing is to learn what the nature is, how it works, and also. So to connect with the society, with the environment, with the surrounding, the nature. I was always looking for things which are happening there, the real events which are happening there, which are interesting, which are joyful. Stress free is the keyword. Stress free is my keyword. So even if you are studying a serious subject where you have to put a lot of serious attention, otherwise you will not get into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, well, after some say, let's say 5-10 minutes, there should be a smile on the face.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
to make you stress free. So those kind of things were there when I was writing this book in my mind, and that is why all these monkeys and all the sanchas and kites and like that, the earrings. So those things were introduced very purposely, so that there is no stress developed when you read 2-3 pages. Monkeys are very interesting characters. They keep jumping from one place to other, and seeing monkeys at any place is always a very nice thing to experience. So that is how it was there.
Okay. Okay. So, um, moving on. Every journey has its share of challenges. So, what were some struggles that you faced in your life or career, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, that is very true. The challenges, the struggles were there. Uh, Financial struggles were there, but that were not very important. And not have money to buy books. So when I was in school, most of the time the classes will start, and after 2 months, 2.5 months, I will get partially few books, the rest of the books next months, and so on. So that kind of struggle was there, but that was not very serious one. The serious struggle came when I joined mm, IIT Kanpur for masters. Okay, and that was the language struggle. So I was from Patna, and but at Patna Science College in graduation, that means bachelor's. We did have classes in English, and the textbooks were definitely in English, and I wrote my examination in English. But a fluent conversation in English, that I was never exposed to. And then when I joined this IIT, here everything was in pure and very fluent English. So the lectures were very difficult to understand, very, very difficult. Out of 4 theory courses and 1 lab course. So the this only one professor was teaching in a style, and he was from Bihar, where I could understand little bit of it, say 20-30% of it. Otherwise, the understanding level was not even 10%. So that was the struggle. That was one. But since I was confident enough, if there's a problem, whatever is the problem, you have to find the solution yourself. Okay. You cannot just blame the surroundings and this is not favorable and that is not available. And no, you have to find the solutions yourself. And what solution? That depends on the actual case to case conditions. So for me, it was the Central Library of IIT Kanpur, which came as the rescue. So I attended all the classes. I never bunked any class at IIT Kanpur, whether I understand it or not. But I'll be sitting there so that the words keep going in my ears and train me. So I attended all the classes faithfully. And then I knew what chapter and what kind of equations are written, so that whatever the board work that I always understood, because English was okay, uh, reading was okay. I could study from the books. I could write in the examinations, but listening to a conversant lecture, that was very, very difficult. So then I used to go to the library, look at the books available, that particular chapter from different books I will search, and then study and, and then master it. And then solve the assignment problems and all those things. Friends were there, Hindi speaking friends were there. Okay, who knew English? That is also there were friends who knew English and Hindi as well. So that was also we used to study in groups. But the whole thing was, once again, there was no stress at all. Hard you can do much hard work, very intense hard work, if you are not under tension, if you are still smiling, and you have faith in yourself. Okay. So I got all 5 courses, the best grades, A grades in the in the very first semester, despite this.
So
So this was
2 years when you were pursuing your masters, you fully grasped all the English knowledge that.
the whole thing was about say 1 or 1.5 semesters.
Yeah.
By that time, I could start understanding what people are saying, and also I could formulate my sentences if I am talking to someone.
So, moving on, your simple low cost physics experiments are loved by students. What inspired you to start creating them, and what impact have you seen them have on students' learning?
See, this is another story. When I was doing my studies at IIT Kanpur, so I learned so many things from there. My temperament was always there to connect with the surrounding, to look at the events happening, and then trying to learn from there whatever science I wanted to learn. Then I came to Patna Science College for teaching. And then there was so much of craze of IIT JEE, as it is also present here, there's a lot of praise, a lot of craze. So students were struggling very hard, and of course that time the examinations was also a much higher standard what today's JEE is. And each question used to give us challenges. Okay, so it was a learning material for the whole year. A JEE question paper in 1980s, let us say, was a very good learning material for the students who have just passed 10th, came to 11th. So I used to use those questions for teaching my students after the class. Yeah, there are no tuitions as such by that time. But then it was very enjoyable to solve all those questions. And a very good learning comes from there. But and I was also having that perception that the students who pass JEE and come to IIT system are really very, very brilliant students. And after 15 years of my teaching at Patna Science College, I joined IIT Kanpur again as a faculty, as assistant professor. And I opted in my very first semester there to teach BTech first year students core course physics. Okay. Although I was advised not to do that. Because people thought that I am coming from university system and IIT BTech students are notorious. They know much more than what a IIT professor knows to how to solve a problem and varieties of shortcuts and this and that. And if you don't know that, then there's a problem in the class. But I took that. I never faced any problem from my BTech first year students. But then interacting directly with those students, I realized that the picture that I had in my mind, that the students who pass through this JEE examination and they get admitted in IIT system, they are really very brilliant. They pick up things very fast and they can solve their own, they can find their own solutions. So all that was shattered, I will say. Out of students, maybe 20% or 25% would match that quality. And the remaining were very ordinary. And I'm talking of IIT Kanpur, which is one of the reputed ones that time, 1994, 95, 90. And those students are not at all any kind of difference between the students I used to teach at Patna Science College, 11, 12. And these students who had just come here, BTech first year, so they are also 11, they're just past 11. So it's at par, right? The only difference should be that, okay, they are the selected ones. They are the best ones of the whole country. So there should be a very clear difference. And I did not find that difference. So that gave me another challenge, that there is a problem in our school system and our students are not being capable of thinking or connecting to the actual world. So problems are there. So this started when I directly interacted with these BTech first year students who have just passed through the school system and have come through JEE and are here. So that thought process started. What is the problem? What is the solution? So first thing was to go to the school system, go to the schools, talk to teachers, talk to students, and try to find out what is happening in the country. Because my experience of 15 years plus two teaching was there. So not just plus two, that in my college, this UG was also there, so PG was also there. So I used to teach everything, plus two also, bachelor's also, master's also at that college. But my experience was just confined to that one college. But here I am interacting with the students from across the country. So there's a kind of a global problem. All right. So I started moving out during weekends and vacations and contacting schools, different schools in different cities. And the easiest was Kanpur schools, and then trying to understand what is happening and what is that. And then many things that I could realize was a disconnect between the subject that you study from the books and the life that you live. If there is a disconnect, total disconnect, then all this bookish knowledge will be a kind of a burden and extra things to be learned and for no relevance. The only relevance is, okay, you get admission into IITs or you get some some good jobs or grades. So I thought, okay, this is one part. There are many other problems. Of course, we have problems with teachers, we have problems with administrators and parents. There are many things. But one thing that I could identify is this disconnect between what we teach in the classroom and the life they live. And this comes from my concept of physics days. Okay, so that was very much there. So then I started these developing short experiments, and the short means some no measurement involved, no measurement. It displays the phenomena. It displays the phenomena. So the idea was if you have a 45 minutes of period in school and teacher is going to teach certain topic. So before writing any equations or any formula or any diagram on the blackboard, what this phenomena is, it should be experienced live. If we are talking of, say, refraction, then instead of starting with light goes in a straight line and when there's a medium change, then there's a bending, and this is called angle of incidence, this is called angle of refraction, and the Snell's law and all those those things. Can I show them? Okay, there's a phenomena of bending of light if the light falls obliquely on a surface. So a 2 minutes experiment where we make some turbid water in a bottle and some smoky place above that, and send a laser beam with so that it is visible in the water also. We can put some milk or something to make it turbid. And it is also visible in the space above the water because it is smoky, slightly smoky. And then people see it. Okay, okay, yes, light is going. They can see the light beam, and then it is bending very clearly. And there, with that bottle in your hand, you can say that look, it has gone towards the normal or away from the normal. And if I am making it inclined further, I is increasing, R is increasing, and so on. So it will take hardly 2 minutes. Remaining 48 minutes, if it is 50-minute period, is still yours. Now, when you go to the blackboard, draw a line with your chalk and say that above is air and below is water. It makes much of a difference.
Yes.
So, with this idea, I developed, I do not know how many, but previously I was keeping account, and some 500, 600 was some years ago, 10 years ago. And we still develop such experiments. Then we went to, we started to contacting teachers and giving them few hours workshops on these things. And then when a group was formed, and then we used to call the teachers at IIT Kanpur or some other place and make them stay there for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, and train them using these experiments in the classroom. So that is how this is experiments, low cost experiments. Low, it must be low cost, because if I want to have an impact on thousands of schools, it has to be low cost and easily available. Not only low cost, easily available also. So that is how all these experiments were developed, and I am still training. Trainings is not a good word, but yeah, I am talking to the teachers, and I am interacting with them at various places and showing that, okay, you teach this way so that teaching this study doesn't become a burden. It becomes enjoyable. Learning has its own enjoyment. Right? If you learn something, actually you learn something, then it's always enjoyable. But if you are just doing it for a purpose of passing the examination with good grades, etc., then it becomes a load. So that was the background of these experiments, low cost experiments.
Okay. Okay. So, um, moving on. Beyond the IIT classrooms, you have worked extensively with rural and underprivileged children through initiatives like Shiksha Super. So, what inspired that work, and what has been most rewarding for you?
Okay, two parts on the question. The first one is all these underprivileged. This Shiksha Sopan is not my thought. Shiksha Sopan is not my creation. This is NGO which is doing excellent present day. And it was IIT Kanpur students only. IIT Kanpur students only, it's a fourth year students. That time, yeah, 4 year. Um, that time it was 5 year BTech, I think. And later on it became 4 year. Final year students. Some 10 of them was in a particular batch, I think 2000, 2001, passing 2000, 2001. They had this vision that IIT Kanpur or IIT campus is a totally different world from what is there on the other side of the boundary wall. And I'm talking of those beginning of this century, so some 25 years ago. And that time the power connections were not uh, very common. There were many houses adjacent to IIT Kanpur campus where they did not have electricity and the children were studying in that lamp light. There was one room in which some five family members are staying, and then all that kind of financial problems and the civic problems. So these students wanted to do something so that IIT Kanpur students come to know that there's a India is also beyond that nice campus. So actual India, real India, so that they get attached to the society and being IIT students likely to go to key positions, okay, in whatever sector they go. So if they know what India is, they will make a better contribution towards whatever they learn from engineering or science. So they will. So this was the thought process with which Shiksha Japan was established in 2001. So they started working, going to the villages, which were just adjacent to our campus, and then going to the families, talking to them, sitting with them, and then helping their children to study because these children will not go to a reputed schools. The schools are there, and that situation still remains. The schools are there, and but the quality of education is very low. So our IIT students would go there, and I know those kind of things will happen. That is how it started. And later on, when I entered into it, in fact, I was in contact from the formation days. The students always took me in confidence and they talked to me and they took guidance from me how to go about. But I actively entered about some after some 3 4 years. And then, of course, we are doing all kinds of things there for the underprivileged children. We have scholarship programs, we have varieties of tests, we have varieties of camps for students. But our focus still remains on, main focus still remains on teachers, physics teachers. So we, from Shiksha Japan platform also, we are doing a lot of camps and activities for our school teachers.
That's a very noble, that's very noble thought that the students thought about this back in 2012.
Right.
What role do you think that AI would play in how we teach, learn, and even do physics research in the coming years?
It's too early to say anything about it. Still too early. But the indications are that it's a good tool, and but you need a maturity. That is a big uh, prerequisite. Okay, I was just today only. I was writing something for G Media. They are having some article on 5th September. So I was just extempore. I was writing something. So I wrote that this AI. including all that Chat GPT and then Gamma and Gemini, whatever it is. So it's a nice thing actually, because I'm using it and I'm enjoying it. But, but if you use it as an alternative of using your own mind,
Correct.
an easy alternative,
Hmm.
then you are trapped. Then you are really trapped. And the kind of things that I read from different newses and articles and the social scientists, not only in India, across the world, they are all apprehensive about this AI thing. Okay, and it's very genuine, because a student of age 10, 15, 20, or even more, 25, 30, okay, they do not have this maturity to use it as a friend, as an assistant. But get, if you are dependent on it, if you become dependent on it, the where you should have used your own brain, if that is shut down, then over a period of 5 years, you won't be able to use that brain. Huh? So I am enjoying AI. Okay, and I'm okay with it. I don't have any great apprehensions. But this caution that the user should have the maturity, it's not an easy solution path. It's not, it should not be used like that. And I know many of students who have come from a very humble background, and they are admitted in NITs and IITs, but they are not able to cope with the studies, with the lectures, and with the things that are going on there. They are using this AI tools just to understand what was taught, but not for solving assignment problems. Yeah, I know many of the students who are very matured. There's, I know, means they have spent some time with me in past, so I know them. So, so they are using, just like I had trouble in my MSc first year, first semester, where I took help, I took refuge in my central library, IIT. Now they have this AI tools, and they are using it very effectively to understand what is being taught and what is the phenomena and how it is. And after that, they are doing everything with their own brain. They are coming up with their solution. They are working hard. They are struggling, and they are making mistakes several times, but still they are working on it. So if it is used in that way, it will be a very nice thing to have with you, but right. But you should not become dependent on that. You should not stop thinking. You should not stop creating new things. I was just looking at that Gamma app, where this your PPT is made. You give the topic, and PPT comes out of that Gamma app. Only give the topic, nothing else. Okay, I gave the topic contribution of Indian contribution to mathematics. That's it. That's it. And the whole PPT of some 25, 30 slides with good photographs, or the images, starting from Aryabhat and Brahma, everything came so nicely. But that is not good. That is not good. I should not be guided by this AI to think in a particular manner. I should be able to think myself. Okay, so my creativity, my utilization of my own strengths, and strengthening them is much more important than having a very nice presentation. Okay, so that's the status.
Okay, okay. So, physics has solved many mysteries about our universe, yet some of the biggest puzzles remain. From dark matter and dark energy to the search for a theory of everything, a single framework that could unify all four fundamental forces: gravity, electromagnetism, strong and weak nuclear forces. So, which of these unsolved problems fascinates you the most and why?
Actually, I don't have time to look into it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I find myself not competent into going into that because I have not prepared myself in that direction. Even at IIT Kanpur, my focus was mentally. My focus was more on working for kids,
Mm.
for children, the teachers, physics teachers, school system. Right. Of course, I was very honest to the mandate given by IIT Kanpur. So apart from the teaching classes, which I did most effectively as per my the entire capability I put into that. I also did some good research. I guided some 6, 7 PhD students from there and run a good laboratory for some 15, 16 years, 20, 23 years I was there. And the laboratory was made from almost the scratch. I took 5 years to make that research laboratory functional. So all those mandate which was given by IIT Kanpur, I honestly fulfilled that. But in my heart, the more bigger problem for me was to look at these school systems, villages, rural areas, hilly areas where children do not have facilities, do not have good teachers, do not have good schools. The teachers themselves have not enjoyed during their BSc, MSc period. They have not enjoyed the subject, and then now they are teachers. So never mind, it's never too late. So my focus is more on these areas, and then people who have much more competence than me should solve what is dark matter problem.
Okay, okay. So I mean that's your choice, right? You went the teaching line and focused on students. So I mean, yeah. So would like to ask, even after all these years, what keeps that curiosity alive? What excites you about physics like it did when you were a student?
Uh, this is as I said. I will give credit to the decision of my parents on whatever basis, whether they thought about it or they did not think about it, to not get me admitted in nursery, KG, class 1, class 2. So 10 years they have given me to shape my own learning patterns. And that is with me still now. Okay. So I am really much less polluted by the system. And even with all odds, I could find my own path and solutions with confidence and with the conventional measuring rods giving me good index. Right? My learning patterns are very unconventional. But the assessment will be conventional. People will only always ask, what is your grade? Or if you are a teacher, how students rate you. So whatever are the conventional measuring scales, I do well there also. And yeah, and also so that learning pattern which was there from the very childhood is still there. For me, there are many unsolved problems, and not dark matters. But if I have, say, colored, transparent, colored those cellophane sheets used for gift wrapping and all that, right? So I am still working on if I have a red cellophane tape. In fact, this problem came just 3, 4 days ago. I have a red this panni, and then if there's a bulb, white light bulb, and I look through, what will I get? So it looks red. The light looks red. But then what is red? Number one, what is red? The red which appears to my eye, is it actually red or a mixture? So I brought a grating and I looked at the light coming through that transparent colored sheet through the grating, and I found yes. what the eye says, it is red light coming through that sheet. I could see green, I could see blue, I could see yellow. Of course, the intensity of red was much more than these colors. And now I'm thinking of doing some more quantitative analysis on that. What what happens if I have one sheet, two sheets, three sheets, or a combination of different color sheets? So, if you can think, that is what I am telling. You should not make your brain inactive. Your brain will always be curious. Then you will see opportunities everywhere to investigate, everywhere to investigate. So those kind of things I am enjoying, I am doing, and once you enjoy, you will do it. Okay, what keeps you alive? Well, that's the question that after retirement and everything, what keeps me alive for this curiosity and working hard and all those things? Yes, yes. If your brain is active and if you have this capability of looking at the events with sharp eyes, you will find many interesting things to work on. Right? Good.
Sir, this is the fun part of the podcast. Before we wrap up, we would like to have a quick rapid fire question. Just the first thing that comes to your mind, no lengthy derivations. Okay, so I'll start. Your favorite physics concept or equation?
The whole physics is stake.
Okay, okay. The toughest chapter to write in concepts of physics?
Semiconductors.
Okay. A
I had to work on it.
student question that completely surprised you.
Oh, that I keep getting. Even today, I keep getting questions which not surprise me, but give me a lot of pressure that, okay, student can think this way. So I got a question, it was about a month ago.
Okay.
And the student wrote that if I have a capacitor and I connect it to a battery, the potential difference develops between the plates, which is equal to the EMF of the battery.
Yes.
Good, very nice. Why does this potential difference develops? Because charges get deposited on the plates. Positive charges on one plate, negative charges on one plate, and that creates electric field and that creates potential difference. So why there is a potential difference between the plates? Because it has been modified. Before the battery was connected, the two plates were uncharged. Now the battery is connected, the two plates become charged. And this creates this potential difference or electric field. No, this is only a background, not a question as yet. The second part of the background is if I connect a resistor to a battery, a potential difference develops across the resistor, two ends of the resistor, which is equal to the battery EMF. Now, what changes have been made in this resistor which has created this potential difference? Okay. Connecting to the battery is not enough. In the case of capacitor, also you connected to the battery. What battery did? It modified the capacitor in the sense that uncharged plates become charged and that the electric field was created. So what modification this battery has done to this resistor? So that again there is a potential difference. Again it is equal to the EMF of the battery. Such a nice question. I was really happy that, okay, the student has been able to connect the two chapters. This capacitor is one chapter. When you are studying capacitor, you are only studying capacitor. When you are studying electric current, you are only studying electric currents. But then having both of them and then comparing the things and going into this depth, that what has changed, what change has been made by the battery to the resistor so that a potential difference has come up. So many times I do get questions from the students. Our students are really, they have fertile brain. And I wish that this social media and all kinds of distraction and this AI possible uh, becoming dependent on this AI, these things do not hamper our brilliant students who can think so originally. So I wish that. Okay. Yeah.
So, a hobby you enjoy when you're not teaching or working.
I'm always working.
Which something like you said, when you were a child, you used to go around in nature.
Huh, that's right. So that is still there. I still look around and just give you this yeah, cellophane sheet problem. So
Yeah.
those things are, but as such hobbies, uh, I could not develop it because I was too involved in this connecting to people and connecting to science and connecting these two together.
Okay. If you could time travel to meet any scientist, who would it be?
Okay, it will be me only. See, what I find is, I can elaborate on that. What I can find is, I go into deeper into the actual work they have done in their laboratory, not the results that they have obtained.
Okay.
Okay, people know what the Rutherford has obtained, that okay, there is a nucleus of positive charge inside that. But then, what went into the laboratory? What was done? How the Rutherford could think of it,
Mm.
or what experiments in the Rutherford laboratory were done, and how they were done. So I try to go into that and study that. Okay, this is how this was done. This is how this was done. This is how this was done. So if you go into those things, you get a totally different perspective, right? So those kind of things I keep doing.
Okay. Okay. 3 words to describe great teaching.
Oh, teaching. three, three words. See, the first keyword is you should be proud of your subject and your profession.
Mm.
If I'm a teacher, I should be proud to be a teacher. If I'm doing something else, I should be proud of my profession. So if talk in terms of physics and in terms of school teaching, in terms of college teachings or institutions, the first keyword will be that am I proud of my profession? Do I love my subject? That's one. Then second thing is that and they are all actually related. Uh, they are all actually related. If I'm teaching, it's not for my own pleasure. Okay, because I'm only one party. Students are also sitting there. Teaching means there are students, whether it is classroom, whether it is online, whether it is book. Book is also teaching. When I'm writing book, I am actually teaching, right? Or I am making a video on YouTube, or I am delivering a lecture in the classroom. So it's not me alone. That will be research. If I am doing something and I am the only party into it, that is research. But teaching means I am working for students who are sitting there, and therefore to keep all the time an eye what students are getting, what I am delivering is one part, and what the students are getting is another part. And at the time of teaching, I have to know it. I have to monitor it. I must design ways. Not only that, I am delivering very nice content and very nice presentations. But how that presentation, how those nice things are taken up by the brains of my students, I have to keep monitoring that also online. And this is really missing from the system. I'm talking of serious, sincere teachers. See, sincere teachers become very happy when they work hard to prepare their lectures, and next day they deliver it with a full enthusiasm. They are very happy. But actually, what went into the brains of the students, generally people do not monitor it during the lecture, and then it becomes much less impactful. So that is the second key word, that you should not only think of your delivery, you should also think of the receptions that the other side is happening. And then the third keyword is, if you are teaching, you asked about teaching, that always, almost always you have a heterogeneous class. So some students are serious to listen to you. Some students are not that serious. They are serious, but they are not able to, because meditating on one particular phase for 45, 50, 55 hours, 55 minutes is a very difficult task. It's a very difficult task. Okay. So even though I want to, I won't be able to. Now the teacher should know it. The teacher should know it. And therefore, the teaching contents are to be prepared in a way that there is a take home message for everyone. Students who are not able to concentrate on you, students who are listening to you, students who are listening to you but not understanding. So there are varieties of groups in that particular class, or whatever is the number. Now, that should be one take home message from for everyone. Today I learned this. So I have to think of the student who is so called very brilliant, and he is, or she is. And she understands very fast. And I should also have a take home message for a student who takes a lot of time to understand anything that you tell. Everyone should say after the class, today I learned this thing. One small thing, but yes. So the whole class is yours. So that is the third key point, that keep in mind that all right, the students are there. They have different varieties of social background, their own schooling, and many things, many things. But then your lecture should have everything, something for everyone. So that is it.
Great, sir. One thing on your bucket list that you haven't done yet?
Oh, I have done very little. Uh, I have done very little. There lot that I wish to do, but I know that I.
Most thing which is there on your bucket list, what is that?
To have the school systems and the college systems, uh, uh, which can actually prepare our students to be scientists, researchers, thinkers. So I want to do that. I don't know how to do and where to do. I'm trying. I'm still trying. Colleges, especially the UG colleges. Okay, UG colleges where we have bachelor's programs and master's programs. Very few of them, some central universities, not all, some central universities and some institutions will are there to give nice products in terms of research capabilities, thinking capabilities, coming with new solutions, and connecting to the nature. So I would like to have a research laboratory in every college, every degree college. In fact, I did a prototype of that at my Supan ashram, Siksha Supan. We have made a small laboratory, research laboratory, which you call Students Research Exposure Lab. And we could make it in some 3-4 lakhs. And it has the potential. The NIT students, Delhi University students, and other students come to our place for during summers and spend a month there, 2 months there, and they do research, and then they present them in different symposiums, research papers, and wherever they present, it's highly rated. Poster presentation, the first prize goes to this person who has done. This so in 3-4 lakhs rupees, if you can produce a research laboratory, why can't every UG college should have it?
So, who has been your biggest role model outside the world of science?
No role model. I don't believe in role models. When people say that you are me, for me, that you are my role model, I always say that don't restrict yourself. Don't restrict yourself. Okay. Make, having a role model means okay, you want to be like that.
I mean, someone that you look up to and probably.
No, no, nothing like that. Nothing like that. Every life has to be driven in a different way, and there are no limits. There are no ideals, right?
Okay.
But I have uh, great respect for all the people who are working honestly for the society, for the world, for the learning. So I do. That is why I go deeper into what Rutherford did or what Satyendrath Bose did. How was the life of Praful Chandra Ray? I go into that. So that way I take inspirations, right? But I don't take one or two or 10 idols and role models.
This was the end of the rapid fire round. Thank you so much sharing your journey and insights with us today. We are truly grateful. And if you have any final thoughts for our audience.
The only thought is that one has to become self-dependent. The brain should remain fertile, and for that you have to give exercises to your brain, right? So and believe yourself, person to person, the IQ level or all those things, intelligence, brilliance, there's not much difference. If you believe in yourself and if you can think with your brain, everyone is in a very small fluctuating zone. The differences are very ripples type of differences. So believe yourself. Yes, I can do it,
So
and
that's
then do it.
very truly
And
said. Thank you so much once again for
okay, okay, very nice. Thank you for calling and giving me opportunity to make my views known to other.
opportunity actually that you could come here and grace us with your presence. So today's conversation reminded us that physics isn't just about the exams, it's about curiosity, wonder, and joy of asking why. This was TEDx Conversation Season 3, Episode 4. If this brought back memories of your own school or physics days, or of trying to make sense of those thermodynamics questions late at night, share it with a friend who's been there too. Until next time, stay curious, keep questioning, and as always, keep the conversation alive.